Hello guys, and welcome to episode 5 of my Total War Warhammer 2 playthrough, playing as the Tomb Kings on very hard difficulty. And today what we're going to be doing is moving on after previously securing the first Book of Nagash, and I'm likely to head back now and try and take on Numas. We are building ourselves a second army now, so we should have the resources in order to do so. We can 2v1 them with their main army at the Numas settlement, and hopefully we'll be able to take it. That's what I'm kind of counting on. We've also got to finish off Arachnos, and what I'm going to do with my diplomacy is just quickly jump into that, because we have revealed a lot more nations, and I was just wondering if we could actually set up trade agreements or not. So let's start off by putting it to attitude, and we will have a look. It seems like Karak actually really likes us, since we have just destroyed Arachnos. That's definitely boosted our relations with them. We could go for a trade agreement, but I'm likely to kill them off after we've taken out Arachnos to secure that entire province, so delaying getting anything with them is probably a good idea. Let's have a look at the Knights of the Flame.
These lands are ours by the...
Getting a non-aggression pact with them might be a nice idea. That might set us up to get a trade agreement in the future. I think we can pay 400 for that. Numas we want to ignore. The Knights of Origo here. I would really like a trade agreement if I can get one.
Ask a peasant.
Let's offer them just that. Never mind. Maybe just a non-aggression pact. Okay, that will set us up for later on. Improves our relationship over time, which is good.
Protector of the realm.
Vegans errantry. I think again we can probably go for a non-aggression pact. Never mind. The Dune Kingdoms might be a opponent in the future, but if honestly we're going to be going for Numas first, we might have time to trade with them in the meantime.
Stop this!
How about a trade agreement and a non-aggression pact? Okay, that works out.
Yes?
Swedenborg. Will they take a non-aggression pact?
I don't agree.
They will not. Further down we have Settra. We've actually discovered the Dark Elves because of this.
With a question. Agreeable.
They're going to take a non-aggression pact at least.
What Lords of the
And all of these will hopefully lead towards trade agreements in the future.
Choose your words carefully. Very well.
Nice. That's 2 Blood Elf factions we have non-aggression pacts with.
Is it true that nothing
can we trade with Avalon? We can. Wow, I'm surprised they actually accepted that. Let's go for the non-aggression pact as well, maybe. Never mind. They're more interested in trade than they are having the non-aggression pact, which is something that I didn't expect at all. Slatlan won't take a non-aggression pact. The Court of Lybaras. This is High Queen Khalida, actually. They definitely want a trade agreement. But we can't get any cash for it, so we'll just go for that now. And maybe we can secure a non-aggression pact with them later on. Clan Moors. Non-aggression pact will do for now. What about the Last Defenders? I have a feeling that they could be a target of mine later down the line, so I think I'll avoid having a war target or a non-aggression pact with them for now, quite simply because I believe there's another Book of Nagash down here. You can see the circle there. I believe that's a Book of Nagash, and we're going to want to go through the Last Defenders lands in order to get there.
Your best. Representatives from Nehekara. Gladly.
Tyrannoc will take a trade agreement. Hopefully more of the High Elves will.
You called what brings the kings of Nehek.
Yep, Varese took one as well. This is really good.
What requests
This will buff our income quite significantly.
Your request? Well, Nehekara.
What about Safari here?
A wise course.
Awesome. Illyrian wouldn't take one. Maybe we can offer them the non-aggression pact and a trade agreement, or just the non-aggression pact. Nope. Come on, Kothic. Take that. Yes, please. Thank you very much.
I think this unwise.
Well, this is working out very well. And then the Rakaf dynasty there. They really don't like us. So that's given us a lot of more trade. We've secured ourselves plenty of non-aggression packs as well, which may lead to future trade agreements. So now we're up to 1,642 per turn. Really, really nice actually. Now since Settra has moved, we can recruit him more forces. So let's go ahead and do that. We will get probably just some more skeleton spearmen, some more skeleton archers there. Fill out the army with those. Settra's also leveled up, so let's give him a skill. Honestly, I think getting him onto a horse would be a good idea sooner than later, because making him more mobile will definitely help us out with using his magic and also like hunting down enemy lords that are on foot. Also, it helps us get him into the middle of formations where he can then use his ability. Awesome. Now when we look at the rights, we do have the Great Incantation of Toth available, which will give us a Casket of Souls. That is a very powerful magical artillery unit, but I'm not sure if I want to spend the cash on that just yet. Let's have a look at our dynasties here. Because we're currently going for the boon of Ulalapt. That's an interesting name there. That boosts the carrion, but honestly we could spend that 5,000 on the public order in all provinces. I think we might actually do that. That's probably well worth spending the cash on. Nice. King Senefret here is currently recruiting himself a bunch of troops. Next turn, yeah, Settra's just going to move up to Mount Arachnos. The other thing that I could do is merge these guys and recruit an extra group of skeleton spearmen in their place. That's something that is very beneficial with the Tomb Kings, because you don't actually spend cash to recruit forces. Merging and then recruiting new ones is never a bad idea. Same goes for global recruitment. Global recruitment is never a bad idea now, because you don't have to spend more in order to do so. Usually, with a normal Warhammer 2 faction, you would have to spend like double the recruitment costs in order to use the global recruitment pool. Whereas with the Tomb Kings, you do not. And that is a massive buff to them. So we can recruit armies very quickly indeed. We do have 88 canopic jars. I'm not sure what that's going to lead to with the mortuary cult. We might be able to save to 200 and get Elysian's Legion of the Netherworld. But I think it would honestly be better to get the 200 to get Thutep of the 3rd dynasty. So we'll work towards that. Right, let's move on to the next turn. There's not too much going on. The Bowmen of Orion did declare war on Tlaqua, which is one of the Lizardmen factions down here. But that dynasty research is very nice indeed, getting the extra income from settlements there. Minus construction costs for province capital and settlement buildings is nice as well. That's, I believe, for like the upgrades of settlements. And yeah, that extra public order is always helpful. So I think we've almost cancelled out the initial very hard difficulty modifier for public order. Our mission was also successful to maintain a total of 8 units of the following type. Spearmen or warriors, so that's given us 500 in extra canopic jars. Research is available. Let's go for the boon of Ulalapt. Or we could go towards the wisdom of the 2nd dynasty maybe. Or another one of these dynasties. We need to have a look really. The income from post-battle loot here is nice. Income from trade is probably better though for us, since we have been focusing on trade quite a bit. Then again, Rakash does give us plus 5% tax rate faction-wide. Yeah, I think Rakash is probably the 2nd best leader to have. We're currently working towards Thutep because he gives us additional tradable resources. What about the proclamations though? We don't normally use sacking and looting, so that's not that useful. Income from income buildings plus 5% is not too bad. I think the second dynasty would probably be the best one to work on, and I think we should do that sooner than later, rather than waste turns researching a boon for our carry-on units, which we don't have many of at the moment. So Settra, we're going to move up to Mount Arachnos. I believe he can go from Mount Arachnos to Khalakarud in one turn, and while he's here we'll merge these guys and recruit more troops, because we may as well, it's quicker than replenishment. King Sonofret will be finished with his recruitment soon. I think we may as well add him the Nehekara warriors there. We'll give him the skeleton horsemen, the skeleton horseman archers as well. Although what we could do after this turn is move King Sonofret into the Land of the Dead and just recruit there. Because that way units like the horsemen will only take one turn. And one thing that I do need to work on is the Graveport. That will allow us to complete the quest with the Crown of Nehekara here. The other quests include search any ruined settlement for treasure. You'll probably do that pretty easily by going down to the Cursed Jungle, but I'm pretty sure we have to walk all the way around to get there. And that could always be Skaven, so you never know. Sign a non-aggression pact with the following faction Numas is not going to happen. And research a dynasty technology that recruits or permits recruitment of a hero. We could do that, honestly. But I think everything is done for this turn. I might just jump into diplomacy again to check if I can do anything with my improving diplomatic relations. I think it would maybe take a few more turns for that actually to take hold. It just depends if we've sort of revealed any more people who we can trade with, like the Forge Bound here.
The grave speaks, but for Nagaroth.
Okay, they accepted a non-aggression pact. It's a good start. The rest of these people are starting to hate us due to our treaties with other people. So that's not good. But nothing we can do about that. I think we just move on to the next turn. So we'll just go and destroy Arachnos at Khalakarud. Then I'm just going to get my armies together and go and attack Numas. It looks like Numas has just recruited a new army though. So it may get to a point where we go in 2-on-2 with the armies, and that could be quite devastating, honestly. But for now, let's just grab our army here, etc., and go and attack Khalakarud. Okay, so it actually looks like there's Mash here, who's recruiting. Before we go into battle, let's upgrade Rahashen. Get the extra canopic jars there, max that out. And then we're going to attack Mash. And this is going to lead us into a battle against 2 Orc Biggins, some Orc boys there, Goblin Archers. Should be pretty simple. Let's quick save it and fight it on the battle map. So we're going to be jumping into a choke point battle, although they can deploy on the choke themselves. So we might see them just charge through it, and we'll have to fight them in an open battle, which should be fine anyway, because we do have the spearmen to sort of hold the line. And we got plenty of spearmen. So let's spread them out. We'll get our archers behind, like so. Keep the skeletons on the flank as high as possible with our Nehekara horsemen. Khemri and War Sphinx can just run straight into battle. We'll keep Settra on his horse there, and the Necrotech can join my infantry. So we'll put them into a group, start the deployment, start the battle, and we will run on down. Oh, this actually worked out quite well. The reinforcements are not at the choke, which means we might be able to get to the choke and fight them there before they get there. Right, let's do that. We'll have Settra and the Khemri War Sphinx just go and attack Mash. I'm going to move all of my skeleton archers over to this left side because I'm assuming they're just going to flood through this gap rather than the gap on the right side. Make sure to get my chariots and horsemen into a decent position. And let's watch Settra take on Mash here with the Khemri War Sphinx. That Khemri War Sphinx loving to play with his new toy. I love it. Very cool. He's just throwing him around. Settra can't even get a word in. Crazy stuff. Okay, what I'm going to do is get my Nehekara horsemen to just engage the orc boys over here. And I think we're just going to sort of charge round. I might have mispredicted this. A lot of units currently moving to the right side. Well, that was a nice charge. Let's get back out of there, though. I think maybe having all of the archers move to this right side is probably a better idea. Maybe have one go this way. Although I think once we deal with the initial 2 units of orc boys, we should be more than okay. And we can have these chariots just run through here and attack the goblin archers. Now the orc war boss is not having a good time at the moment. Let's use some of Settra's magic. We'll get the physical resistance there. I'll buff those guys up. Our archers should nearly be in position. Let's buff those up as well. We'll have them fire away. Open up. Yes, very nice. Fire away, boys. Fire away. We want to get Settra into the middle of that melee. Let's make sure my chariots are engaging the goblin archers. So we don't want them to continue to attack these chaps. Right, we'll go for his attack here. Do plenty of damage. Oh, the Khemri War Sphinx there in the back line, just doing so much damage. I love it. It's just so damn cool. Such a strong unit. Now we've reached the Realm of Souls tier 1. Buff these guys up. And they're all starting to run. We've run down the goblin archers, which is good. I think I'll just allow my chariots to continue to do the job there. We'll have the Nehekara horsemen just charge through the front line into the orc boys here. Maybe we can break these guys as well. Yep, that's going to make them rout. Awesome. Making all these guys rout. Pretty sure that's a chain rout. Almost. The Goblin Great Shaman's still sticking with us. Alright, let's have the chariots come across. Make sure they're spread out. And then we can run down a lot of these guys. We'll get the Nehekara horsemen over here as well. Because I think most of the units on that left side are just completely destroyed. Now this isn't a settlement battle, so killing as many as possible is pretty important. We're fighting just outside the settlement. Oh, look at them go. Running these guys down. If this was Rome Total War, all of the people that the chariots ran over would just die. But unfortunately that's not the case in Warhammer 2. They just get up and carry on.
Settra the Imperishable. King of Kings.
Just trying to kill as many of these guys as possible. But we're not doing particularly well at the moment. Maybe now the Storm Riders of Zara have caught up, we'll get quite a lot of kills onto these Orc boys. Definitely chewing them up relatively quickly, which is good. Down to 19 and 17 there. Sweeping around. Let's carry on to these Orc boys over here where there's 62 left. Speed it up. May as well. The undead never rest. We've certainly showed that to these orcs. Wow, we did a lot of damage there. Decisive victory. Very nice. 212 losses. Killed basically their entire armies. 345 kills on the Nehekara horsemen. That mop up there, definitely giving them a lot of those. That's fantastic. We'll take the canopic jars. They are more valuable to us than anything else. And what I'll do is now attack Calag Orlud. We'll just auto-resolve that since there's barely anyone left. And we'll occupy it for even more canopic jars. Skeleton Spearman Regiment of Renown now unlocked, which is good. I should probably put that into Settra's army. Settra didn't take any losses though, but let's disband one of these guys and we'll replace them with King Nikesh's Scorpion Legion. He is now level 10. We can unlock Unyielding Will, which gives the +5 melee attack and melee defense to units around him. Then we can get Conqueror of the Past, which will give us the extra public order in all provinces, which is what we've been looking for since the start of the game. So we have 4,100 cash to spend. I think we definitely want to upgrade Khemri, so let's get that on the go. We have the minus 10% construction cost for settlement building, so that you could see was taken off there, which is very nice indeed. And we do have more open graves at Mount Arachnos. I'm not entirely convinced that's the right thing to have. Or even the funerary district here. I might take away this Charnel Plaza and we'll get an obelisk, because we definitely need a public order building in this province. We have -10 for one turn due to conquest, but then we have -3 provincial instability. So getting a obelisk will help us maintain the public order here, I think. King Senefret needs to move back into friendly territory over here. Well, he's already in friendly territory. But we'll move him into the Land of the Dead in order to recruit Nehekara warriors in the same turn. So we'll go for couple skeleton horsemen there. And then we'll like move further up every turn and recruit more and more troops whilst Settra comes round and catches up. Because we definitely want to go to Numas before this king recruits too many men. We are definitely ahead in the recruitment race. But yeah, we don't want to let them build up a full second army, otherwise it'll be unnecessarily hard to win the battle. Alright, that's everything done. Let's go ahead and end the turn. Next turn what I'm going to do is check my diplomacy. Faction destroyed Kothik. There goes our trade agreement with those. And plenty of people declaring war on each other. It's nice not to be the person who's declared on, for once. Non-aggression pact. Do we already have a trade agreement with them? We don't. So non-aggression pact will be nice. Just to start to build up our relations. Alright, so with Kothik destroyed, let's go back to our attitude here and find more trade partners.
Glory. Bow before the rightful lord. Do you know who I am? The laws of
I like that we can
chivalry
ask them to
demand
become a
our
vassal.
hero.
That's quite funny.
Favored of the Nehekara does wonders.
I'm not sure how successful all of this is going to be.
Malevolent, use your words carefully to
I'm really hoping to get some of these trade agreements. We might have to end up offering them money later down the line, but for now, I'm not going to bother.
Denied.
Ooh, Clan Pestilence. Hello. I will take a non-aggression pact and a trade agreement. That's not bad. Gives us a little bit of extra cash at least.
Prince of Elf, what request have you, Nehekara? I cannot do this. What?
I really wish you would tell me why they don't want those agreements. Because some of them with the same relations do, and then some don't. It's really, really weird. Anyway, let's get Settra all the way over here. We'll make sure to remain in friendly territory so we maintain the replenishment. We'll have King Sunafret continue up and continue his recruitment. We'll go for skeleton horseman archers. I might actually get some... Actually, we'll go for 3 units of normal archers, as he doesn't have any archers left yet, and then we'll go for maybe a couple more skeleton archers and a skeleton spearman, but we can do that further up. So this army is recruiting 4 at a time. Hopefully we'll get there in time. And hopefully that initial army doesn't have any surprises up their sleeve. I guess one thing we could do is maybe go for the Great Incantation of Tohoth if we save cash for the next turn. And that will give us a Casket of Souls to use in that battle. Which could be very useful considering there will be a lot of troops. And splash damage should be quite high. I'm not entirely sure how that Casket of Souls works though. Yeah, I think we'll save for that. And we can recruit it into Settra's army, or even King Sunafret's army. Let's just move on again. I just really like to be able to pick my enemies rather than being forced to fight on multiple fronts all the time. It's quite relaxing in comparison to some of the other Warhammer campaigns that I've done. So we have enough to do the right. Let's move up here. We will recruit ourselves another skeleton archer there. We'll get the skeleton spearman in. And then what I'll do is go for the Great Incantation of Tohoth Which is probably worth doing this also for the fact that we will get the extra Lord recruit rank and unit experience for all unit recruits. So we'll get the casket, and I may as well reset these so we get the extra unit experience. That's awesome. And can we get the casket? We can. Brilliant. King Sunafret can have that. We'll move up Settra. And he can accompany King Sunafret to Numas in the next turn. And Necrotect has leveled up. He has Canopic Jar Hoarder completely finished. So let's now go for increased mobility for the army. Although that could be kind of annoying actually if I'm going to keep these armies together for the foreseeable future. Alright, what's going on at Gorgazan? I think at Galbraz it might be worth just getting an obelisk here. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that because the public order is pretty low. And probably a good idea to just boost that up. The obelisk doesn't actually cost that much. Same deal here, we need to get the obelisk built. But we don't have the cash to do so. That's currently got -8 per turn as well. Hopefully we can sort that out. And we will do actually once we level up Settra again. Once we get him to level 11, we'll get the +2 public order in all provinces. We'll get an extra +4 from the obelisk. So that will be -1 per turn. And then we can always turn off the tax if we need to, because the tax isn't even that high. Okay, let's go ahead and end the turn. So we've done pretty well throughout this episode. We finished off Arachnos, and we're in a position now to attack Numas. We've also faction encountered the pirates of Sartosa. Let's see if we can trade with them, because they are up here, I believe. Yeah, let's see if we can trade with them. Pirates of Sartosa.
Greetings.
No, sir.
Non-aggression pact and trade agreement?
I refuse.
No. Never mind. I was hoping we could, but we can't. And unfortunately, guys, that has been my time, so I am going to leave it here. Next time around, we will be going to war with Numas. We have 2 full armies here, including the Casket of Souls. Should be a lot of fun. We'll take on both of these armies and destroy Numas once and for all. Take Ash River for ourselves. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.